Ashwin Sampatji, session is over. Now we will move to the next session, and our program director Pragnaji will introduce the next speaker and inform you.
Namaste everyone. Very honored to have our next speaker with us, Shri Gauranga Das ji. Gauranga Das ji has made you the co-host. You can unmute yourself, and also I request you to try to turn on the video. In the meantime, I'll introduce Gauranga Das ji. He's currently the director of Govardhan Ecovillage. With a graduate degree in metallurgical engineering from the reputed IIT Mumbai, Gauranga Das ji has been working for social, ecological, and economic upliftment of society. Govardhan Ecovillage is the only Indian NGO to receive United Nations Award in Sustainable Tourism. The village recently got affiliated to UNEA. He is also an IGBC fellow from the Indian Green Building Council. He is playing critical roles in the leadership and organizational development of ISKCON organization. Gauranga Das ji is dedicated to helping people transform their hearts, improve their attitudes, establish sustainable spiritual communities, and drive positive change in society. He is also an inspirational speaker in TEDx events and corporates like Google, Microsoft, etc. We are extremely honored to have Gauranga Das ji amidst us, and thank you for gracing this event with your presence, Ji. Hari Om. I request you to take over, Ji.
चलिए, थैंक यू। आ जाइए, आप बैठिए। ये भी लाइट्स और चलो। हरी बोल। और पॉइंट So, shall I begin?
Yes, Ji, yes.
Yeah, thank you very much to the organizers for inviting me for this cow-centric sustainability webinar being organized by all of you. Congratulations for taking this forward. The need of the hour: when India got independence in 1947, Indian population was 30 crore and the cow population was more than 100 crore. Today, India's human population has gone up to 130 crore, but the cow population has come down to 9 crore. So many times people feel cow means only milk. But the fact of the matter is that as far as cow is concerned, cow is considered to be an animal which can actually be at the heart of all the sustainable development goals, right? So as SDGs have been established by UN way back in 2015 from the Millennium Development Goals, and in the 2015 to 2030 period, the focus area of United Nations is to build a circular economy. And these are the 17 global goals, SDGs. So building a circular economy means by yielding milk, the cows rescue all the worlds from calamity. It is the cows which produce the food upon which creatures subsist. So this is a quote from Mahabharata. So Mahabharata describes the importance of the cows, as in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Sahayagya praja srishtva puro vacha prajapati anena prasavishwadyam enamo ishta kamadhuk. So in the Vedic system, the whole process was that the human beings perform yajna. By performance of yajna, in which ghee is used as a medium, then the pleasure of the higher beings is invoked. And when the demigods in charge of various facilities and faculties like rain, etc., are pleased, then ishtan bhogan hi bo deva dasyante yajna bhavita tair dattana pradane bhoyo bhungte stena evasa. Then actually the rainfall comes, and in this way the whole rain cycle which we understand today is considered to be in the Vedic paradigm a whole process where human beings, just like they pay water tax, electricity tax, etc., would pay a tax to the universal forces in the form of yajna. And the medium for performing that yajna was ghee, and that ghee is obtained from the cow's milk. And therefore cows were supposed to be at the very center of the economy. So therefore cows are at our core as far as sustainable development goals are concerned. So let us look at the first SDG, which is no poverty. The decentralized cattle rearing farms, which is 1 or 2 cow heads. That means a farmer typically in the Vedic paradigm could have 1 or 2 cows and 1 acre of land around him, has seen trends of rural upliftment since inception of rural milk platforms. So it is very important that as an economy we provide support to the agriculturist in multifarious ways, that apart from the agriculture which is engaged in, the support to the agriculture is provided by facilitating that farmer to maintain a few cows. And that's not like a mandate that he should have 10, 15 cows. Even if he keeps 1 or 2 cows, he can maintain those cows, and the cow dung and cow urine becomes excellent fertilizer. And when the cow moves on that land and crushes the hooves in that land, then the entire land becomes extremely fertile because of its influence. And therefore it is said, when Krishna appeared in Vrindavan in Gokul, and when the Nandotsav description is there in Bhagavad Puran, it is described, Gopa parasparam hrishta dadi kshira ghritamubhi asinchanto vilimpanto navanitascha chikshipu, that the Gopas were throwing various kinds of cow products in celebration. Dadhi, kshira, ghrita, ambu, milk, yogurt, and ghee, etc. Asinchanto, and they were actually pressing on each other. Vilimpanto, they were covering each other. Navanitas, with butter. Chikshipu, and in this way, this entire paradigm of the fact that rural means poor and urban means rich is a very, very new and perverted concept which has come up. Otherwise, the Vedic scriptures are filled with descriptions of how there was tremendous prosperity and no poverty in the villages, in rural area. And especially when Krishna himself performed pastimes in Gokul, which is a rural place, and Krishna appeared as the son of Vasudeva as a king, but he spent almost 11 years in Vrindavan being a cowherd boy. And he was having 900,000 cows, which he was taking care of. So the Supreme Lord himself demonstrated the prioritization, and the wealth and the prosperity of Gokul Mahavan is described in great detail. As far as zero hunger is concerned, cows at the Gram Goshalas have stabilized food supply chain by providing milk and milk products like ghee, cow dung, and cow urine. So, as I said before, that one of the biggest tragedies in India today is the agriculturist who is growing the food is suffering and dying because of lack of food. So this needs to change. This is the biggest irony. And so we have to really look at how the entire ecosystem can be seen connected to each other. These anomalies happen because we do not see the connection between the cows and all these other things. So the cows give cow dung and cow urine. Through the cow dung and cow urine, excellent forms of fertilizers, insecticides, pesticides can be made. Jivamrita is one of the very popular forms of fertilizers. And to a great degree, the entire land can be rejuvenated just with this cow dung and cow urine based fertilizer. Apart from that, the cow urine is, also an excellent form of distillation, where by distillation you can create Goarka, which is seen to actually remove various kinds of diseases. So when the farmers are trained not just to take care of cows and use the cow dung and cow urine for agriculture, but also create products. So the cow may give milk only till the age of 10 or 8 or 7, but the cow continues giving cow dung and cow urine for rest of life. So today the farmers look at cows and bulls as liabilities, especially bulls. And so there is a massive 95,000 crore cow slaughter industry, and India has become the number one exporter of beef. So this is extremely unfortunate. And therefore, we have to have faith in the fact that by protecting cows and taking care of the cows, they not only just give milk, but the cow dung and cow urine and the movement of the cows in the land of the farmer creates auspiciousness and transforms the fertility of the land. And therefore, such fertile land has to give profuse quantities of grains and vegetables. And therefore, there is no concept of any hunger. If many of you may be aware that in the year 180, India's GDP contribution to the world was almost 37%. And till 1000 AD, we were world leaders in economy, and we were actually contributing to 36 to 37% of the world's economy in terms of GDP. So after 1000 AD, there was influence of some foreign invaders, and then gradually from 1000 AD to 1500 AD, that percentage came down to almost 26%. But still, we were world leaders in economy. And what was the foundation for that being the leaders of the world in world economy? It was based on cow-based agriculture. It was based on respecting the cows and taking care of the cows, and agriculture which was totally in sync with a lifestyle which was based on expressing gratitude to the higher powers. And so if the citizen pay regular taxes and the authorities keep reciprocating by providing the facilities, then that's an example of harmony. So therefore, the Vedic culture was very much present in India. From 1500 onwards, then gradually when the British influence started entering, by 1700, the GDP contribution came down further. And by 1800, it became 16% of the world GDP. Especially from 1800 onwards till 1900, the British made conscious policies to break India's economy. And as a result of that, in 1900, India's GDP contribution to the world became 1% only. So at least till 1500 to 1600 period, we were having the majority percentage as far as GDP contribution of the world is concerned. But the interesting thing is we were world leaders in global economy without compromising on our sociological systems, without compromising on our religious identities, without compromising on our Vedic and Sanatan Dharma tradition. So therefore, all the different travelers, including Yuan Sang, who came from
Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Namaskaram. Maybe there is a small internet disturbance from the side of Shri Gauranga Prabhuji. So we are waiting and we'll wait for the reconnection. We are approaching them. Please be seated.
I have lost.
Prabhuji,
Yes,
Prabhuji, you
yes,
can start sharing the screen
yes,
also.
yes. 1 minute. Give me a moment, please. Yeah, so I just got dropped off because of the internet. Yeah, so basically, the main point I was trying to make is that irrespective of what may be the technological advancement we may make, but prosperity, as we have experienced in the last 1.5 years of this global pandemic, is something that there are higher powers which permit and do not permit us to either enjoy or not enjoy. So therefore, the interesting thing about India's economy and India's economic, the history of India's economic supremacy is that we were the economic superpowers of the world for more than 1600 years without losing our sociological fabric. We were not an economy which was based on exploitation of one section. The entire society was prosperous, and the word poverty was not known, the word hunger was not known. And therefore, we should remember that a very important part was played by the cows, and the principle of protecting and taking care of cows. And even when the independence came about, there were lakhs of acres of land in the revenue department of India in the name of Gocharan Bhumi, reserved land, reserved for the cows. So even the British recognized the close affinity which Indians have for the cows, and respected that. As far as third SDG is concerned, how the cows serve the SDG 3 in good health and well-being is they connect through the social and the economic aspects. Development around Gram Goshalas bring healthy AQI, rural financial inclusion, Gram Udyog establishments, and reverse migration. So this is very, very important. Why people leave the village and go to the city is when they do not find sufficient opportunities for economic inclusion, and they just feel that there is not sufficient opportunities here. So the cows have gone one step ahead and providing their cow dung and cow urine, and hundreds of thousands of types of FMCG products can now be created with the help of cow dung and cow urine. So therefore, an economy which actually protects the cows can actually experience these things. When there is reverse migration, that means when people from the city come back and decide to stay in the villages and take care of cows, it brings about a balanced change and stabilizes the population distribution. And in this way, we find that the education system gets sustainable, because today, when thousands of kids want to go to the cities, and the city schools are overcrowded, and the village schools are sparsely populated, and the teacher is hardly present, and the principal is their only name. Why? Because enough importance is not given to the rural setup. So if you see the demographics, that although 80% of India is still in its villages, or almost 6.5 lakh villages we have, but the uh, the condition of the education in the villages is extremely pathetic. And therefore, when there is a cow-based economy which inspires people to come and stay in the villages and take care of their farm and their agriculture and their cows, then, with the furtherance of economy, all those living in the village can actually take steps, proactive steps, to improve their education system. So the community has to get involved. So today, the problem is that the community is not getting involved. And therefore,
Namaste. Gauranga Dashi will be joining us soon. Prabhuji will be joining us soon. I request all of you to wait for a couple of minutes.
yeah, so coming back again to gender equality. So all of us are aware that there is a natural tendency for you know personal reasons to give more importance to cows than bulls. But in our Vedic tradition, Krishna and Balram together represented protection of cows and bulls. So Krishna, with flute in his hand, represented attracting and taking care of cows, and Balram, with a plow in his hand, represents how the bulls must be taken care as far as agriculture is concerned. So, with a tractor-driven economy in agriculture, then the overall use and utility of the bulls has been minimized, and this is a matter of great concern. And therefore, unless the cow dung, cow urine, and the cow products based economy goes beyond 95,000 crores, it is very difficult for anybody to take protection of the cows and bulls in the long run very seriously. So therefore, a cross section of people have to come together. The cow lovers have to come in contact with those who are actually also entrepreneurs, and then this is actually possible. Drawing inspiration from the Gram Goshalas, which are necessarily the most clean places with proper segregation for resting, eating, and excretion areas. So we can actually demonstrate that cow dung, by its very nature, has antiseptic properties. And this has been proved in various researches also. And by actually utilizing cow dung, we can actually create a lot of disinfected areas in the villages. And therefore, this is very important as far as creating sanitation facilities is concerned, as also clean water. As far as affordable and clean energy is concerned, all of us know that the cow dung becomes the main input for a biogas plant, and it is fueled further by the manure, which is dried cow dung. And one of the best forms of clean and affordable energy is biogas based energy. As far as decent work and economic growth is concerned, that if more and more people are inspired to come back from the cities to their villages, and people from villages are prevented from going to the cities, then the Gram Goshalas will provide an auxiliary stabilizing hand support to agriculture and allied industry. And therefore, this reverse migration will lead to better purchasing power parity within villages in no time. As far as the ninth SDG, industry innovation infrastructure, is concerned, Goshalas pave the way of building resilient infrastructure, promoting sustainable industrialization, and fostering innovation. As I have said, that some of the most novel products which I have seen have been created by people using cow products, whether it is cow dung based soaps, cow dung based detergents, cow dung and cow urine based insecticides for pesticides, various kinds of germicides, and excellent cow dung based medicines, face creams and other things, and what to speak of dhoops and deeps and everything. So therefore, there is tremendous opportunity for a cow-based industrialization and commerce if the right kind of innovative people join hands. Then 10th SDG is reduced inequalities, that the cows can actually, through the Goshalas, bridge the gender, social, and economic gap, and economic burden will be eased out once circular economies are set up in villages. So the villages are currently seen delinked from the cities in many ways, and the villages seem to be delinked from each other also. So proper kind of market linkages need to be established, and the cows become a very important element, because definitely the cows are the foundation for our supply of milk in the cities. So right, recently ISKCON has also set up a beautiful farm which is known as Haribol. So as part of Govardhan Ecovillage rural development initiatives, the Haribol milk is from A2 cows, and we have several farmers taking care of small groups of cows in Paliyad as a kind of a ahimsa cooperative, where we are taking responsibility of the cows till the end of life. And then that milk is brought to Mumbai every day, and various kinds of products are also supplied. So currently we are doing more than 3,000 liters of milk in Mumbai every single day. Sustainable cities and communities. So how are sustainable communities built? By ceasing non-biodegradable activities. When we use, items in our daily use which can be composted, which can be recycled, reused, and this promotes inclusive growth, and by building capacity of individuals. So all of this happens at the core of raw talent. So sustainable cities and communities can be built through all of this, and therefore, we need to build capacity for the agriculturist, for the farmer, by giving him support with cow-based agriculture. 12th is responsible consumption and production. Drawing inspiration from the cows, we encourage industries, businesses, and consumers to recycle and reduce waste, both equally important. As we see, the cow eats grass, gives cow dung, and that cow dung is not a waste. Cow urine is not a waste. 100% of the cow dung and cow urine can be again act as an input into the agriculture. Right? From the land comes grass, the grass goes inside the cow, out comes the cow dung, and the cow dung is 100% usable in agriculture. So we see an example of responsible agriculture in India. 13th is climate change. The Gram Goshala development reduces burden on agriculture production. And as a result, health risk is decreased because people decide and prefer to stay more time in the villages. And it assists in building infrastructure and uninterrupted supply of basic services in rural areas, which is the need of the hour. So if the whole world thinks that we have to go to the city to be considered successful, then we are in a big soup moving forward, because the cities are already experiencing congestion. And during COVID, all of us realized that the biggest hotspots were not the villages. The biggest hotspots of COVID were in the cities. So nature is hitting back, smashing us, and warning us that you cannot continue life like this. And therefore, the Go Mata is a very important element in arresting this climate change. Drawing inspiration from Gram Goshalas, when treated with compassion, the economy thrives. Regulate harvesting and prohibiting destructive use ensures maximum sustainability. And life on land thrives around a Goshala through free pastures farming. So, as I said before, now there are various kinds of cow dung and cow urine with mud. If you mix together, you can make various kinds of bags. So, we need to, replace plastic with cow dung and cow urine based products. So we stop throwing plastic back into the water. So life below water is conserved. And soil and the cows regulate the grass growth, the soil microbial and carbon content and pH content of the soil. So life on the land is protected and regulated when cows are allowed to do free pasture grazing on the ground. So therefore, treating all beings with compassion and building mutually consistent relationships to form strong institutions must stay at the ethos. So therefore, when we speak about peace and justice, we should not just think of only human society, but all society, because Vasudeva Kudumbakam Udara Charitanam tu. As far as Sanatan Dharma principle is concerned, whole globe is a family, and we are codependent on each other. So before partnerships between nations, a close relationship has to be established between urban and rural zones for conclusive sustainability progress. So domestic capacity building becomes elementary. So India must invest in the next 10 years on building the capacity of rural places. The cities are growing from rich to richer. Out of the 600 million workforce in India, 4% is in corporate sector, organized corporate sector, 3% is in organized government sector, 93% is in the unorganized sector, including the small and large farms. So it is very important that capacity must be built for this, because you will be shocked to know that out of the 100 students who enter into the kinder just before primary schooling system in India, 4 drop out before they can join, 58 drop out when they are in primary, and 28 drop out before they can enter high school. And ultimately only 10 manage to enter into college. So there is a 88% dropout rate in India, 88 to 90% dropout rate in India from the K to 12. And therefore we need to create capacity and support this. So the modern Gram Goshalas are a source of innovation, entrepreneurship, improved health, and resilient agriculture. And that is whole idea in Govardhan Ecovillage. In 2003 we started with 9 cows. We are 104 cows, bulls and calves, and we protect, honor, and love cows because they are dear to Krishna. They are considered mothers to human society, essential part of agriculture and economy. To impact the global importance of cow protection by giving a high standard of love and care to cows, bulls, and other animals. So how do we build circular economy? Our motto: serve cows like deities, serve other animals like cows. Serve cows like we serve the deities, and serve other animals like we serve the cows. So what do we do different? Okay, our bulls are trained to plow the fields and yoked to carts to transfer stuff. This keeps them active. Cows at the Govardhan Goshala go for open grazing every day for 3 hours. So we have a separate area for cows, bulls, newborn calves, sick cows, and progenitors. Enough space to roam, sit, stand, or sleep. Shaded areas and open areas. Unlike commercial barns, we don't have flooring made of cement, but it's natural, it's healthier, natural, safer to walk. They are not tied. They want to drink water, they can drink wherever they want to sit. So it's all free range. They are not tied. 6 acres of land is cultivated to grow fodder. Two varieties of grasses are grown, marble and hybrid napier. Milking is done only in the morning, no milking in the evening. Milking is done simultaneously when the calf is drinking. First month, the calf is allowed to drink freely, rest is milk. Second month, one teat is milk and three teats are for calf. From third month onwards, two teats are milked and two teats are given to the calf. So this is based on the principle of ahimsa to make sure that the calf's needs are respected. Milking is done only during morning as far as milking policy is concerned. There is no milking in the evening. Okay. Calves are given 3 months to stay with the mother whole day. During grazing time, calves below 3 months stay in Goshala. Male calves above 7 months will be kept separate from the mother after milking as they trouble other cows because of masculine growth. They start developing reproduction capacity. At that time, from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., calves are kept in calf section and given special food. From 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., they are again left with their mothers. For safety reasons, calves are kept separate from the mothers in the night. During first 7 days after birth, when the calf's navel is not dried completely, if the cow licks excessively, then they have to be kept separately. So during rainy season, calves are not allowed for grazing. So as far as our daily activities are concerned, this is the just like in the DTs, we have a schedule. So we have 4:45, the cows wake up, between 4:45 to 5, and the dung and urine is collected. And all the way till 8 a.m., they are fed and milked. And then 8 o'clock, the cows go for grazing. And as they go for grazing, there is cleaning of sheds, water tanks, and feeding chambers. Simultaneously, there is bull training and green grass cultivation, which happens in this period between 8 to 12. And then they come back, and after they come back, they take rest. Then there is medication and bathing till 12 to 2. And then between 2 to 3, the dung and urine is collected and the green grass is cut, and the cows eat green grass, and the cows eat concentrated diet, and then at 6 p.m. they take rest. So in this way, these are the overall schedules of the cows. So Govardhan Ecovillage Goshala provides excellent facilities, world-class standards, rope-free zones, fresh water, special calf care, and most importantly, we have what is known as uh, the very, very close interaction between human beings and cows on a regular basis. Innovation is the cow dung being used in biogas plant manure, cow dung cakes as fuel, soap powder, tooth powder, Ghanavati incense. Cow urine is being used in Goarka, pesticides and manure. In entrepreneurship, we have a skill development college, skill development training programs around agriculture, and Gram Goshalas continue. Youth from Palghar receive training on how to run a sustainable cow farm. Our motivation to work for the improved health of the cows, bulls, and calves is fueled by our love for them. Homeopathy is used as a primary medicine. In case of emergency, veterinary doctor reaches within 30 minutes. And apart from that, we have integrated agriculture where cow rearing lowers the burden on Indian agriculture. They replenish the soil, increase carbon content, remove dependency on agriculture, bring a negative carbon footprint. Knowledge transfer and capacity building is done through rural development integrated program which happens across Palghar district. So these are some of the cow products: Panch Sudha, Netra Prabha, Trifala, Neem oil, Dard Nivarak, Shyam Kesh hair oil, Kesh Shringar hair tonic, Hingavati nasal drop, Arjun tea, Karnarakshak, Madhu Meh diabetic cure. So the final aspect of building a circular economy is circular inclusion. We are developing a range of dry fragrances, lotions, and soaps. Radhanath Swami says there is no greater pleasure than being willing to risk one's life and make all sacrifices for the welfare of others. Meet our cows, meet our calves, and meet our bulls. So we are very grateful to the organizers for giving me an opportunity to share about the Govardhan Goshala. Thank you all very much. Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. It's it's a great honor and a pleasure that you could address the gathering. This very and very practical inspiration that you have given everybody. And the main idea of the symposium that we had envisioned is to inspire modern youth that they can see a future for themselves in serving Gomata. And there, definitely, Govardhan Ecovillage model is a clear role model, for everyone to draw inspiration from along practical lines, and also connecting it with modernity, as Prabhuji has beautifully done in this presentation with respect to the SDGs, connecting modernity, the modern sustainability development goals. Because when we talk of modernity, we never imagine tradition. Tradition is looked at as superstition. When we say Bhagavan Krishna, for most modern educated youth, they are disconnected from this Sanatana Dharma perspective. And that's where practical direction in terms of best practices become very important. Because theoretical inspiration is very easy to get. There are many self-help books and so on. But that's when we listen to such practical guidance, and this can really help rejuvenate dharma, so that we dedicate ourselves as young people to dharma rakshana and go samrakshana. And that is interlinked with our purushartha. This is what we gain from Prabhuji's address. So we really bow down to you for giving everyone this enlightening address. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and we look forward to connecting with you sometime.
Definitely.
So please do send an email, and we will be happy to host you sometime.
Okay.
Namaste, sir.
Pranam.
Pranam.
Hello everyone, Namaskaram. Now we have had 3 wonderful sessions. Day 1 as energetic as day 1, day 2, day 3 also went very well. Now I will shortly brief you about the upcoming sessions in the evening, which will start at 5:30 and end by 7:15. The best part of evening is we have all 3 young researchers and entrepreneurs who are just into their professions. All the time we have heard new youth, new participants from who are modern educated are not able to connect. So we have Kulshrestha. He is a PhD researcher in